It's another Marvel PR disaster you just cannot believe. Simu Liu, the star of Shang-Chi, is now not only failing when it comes to movies, but he's also flailing when it comes to destroying brands of people making tea, boba tea that is, and trying to take a stand in the capitalist society. Not allowed, he says, if you're not exactly the type of race he deems acceptable for drinking tea. It's the kind of thing that has the MCU spilling tea. We'll explain why right now. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel that connects the dots that you need connected, shows you the spot entertainment is struggling, or sometimes when they're doing well. Folks, it's swell to see you. We're happy to have you here. Click the like button as we get ready to dive in and consider sharing this out on your favorite social media platforms. Today, we're talking about the star of Shang-Chi, if you can call anyone participating in that movie a star, but it might be true because, well, Simu Liu, he could be joining the Avengers. The next movies are coming out very soon, and Marvel is looking for a diverse cast. He fits that, he fits the check boxes, but the problem is he's made many people very angry with some of his latest comments, and it's going to muck up perhaps the MCU as they try to yuck up with audiences looking for a place to find entertainment once again. And
here, come on! I thought we were done with this after yesterday.
No, we're pulling you back in. Like me at the Bass Pro Shop with the pool, you're going back in the water, Spencer. Shang-Chi star Simu Liu plays the victim.
I do not care the slightest about Brie anymore, but I will go forever about Simu.
He plays the victim, Spencer, after bubble tea company he accused of cultural appropriation receives death threats. I just don't want the legacy of this segment to be pitchforks and people fearing for their safety, he says. He's at it again in once more attempting to performatively present himself as one of Hollywood's premier proponents of progressive thinking. Spencer, that's what we call alliteration, sir. Well done. Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings star Simu Liu has responded to the news that death threats have been issued to the fledgling bubble tea company he accused of cultural appropriation on live TV by asking his supporters to scale back their rhetoric out of consideration for the legacy of this moment. Spencer, I've got another thought on this. You've written such a great article. I'm not going to read terribly much of it, but I want people to go read it. Yeah. But Spencer, when you combine this now with the understanding that Disney needs to have these ESG scores for every single movie they do, they need a female Captain Marvel in there for the Avengers, even though she's anathema to audiences. They need Simu Liu because he is the racial checkbox they need, and now Shang-Chi is in controversy. Spencer, does this actually damage his ability to get into the Avengers, or do you think this increases the odds because Disney's like, oh yeah, controversy, we'll take more of that?
I honestly think it's irrelevant because, I mean, I didn't get to speak during the Brie Larson segment, but my thoughts on the entire thing sort of echo this, and it's what Jonas was saying, is that Jonas and Vash were saying this. Right now, Marvel is at the spot where they've sort of dug themselves the biggest grave. None of their newer characters hit. They retired all of their older characters. Spider-Man is in a giant tizzy right now. You know, they, instead of recasting T'Challa, they went with Shuri. So everything is a disaster there. Right now, to me, where this is less of the ESG, all of that stuff, because that's what started this, right? That's why we have Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. That's why we have the Shang-Chi movie, because that's what they were pushing. At this point, this is just, we need something to pull people in. I mean, that's why we have RDJ back as freaking Dr. Doom, which is what, like, a universally loathed decision, because they're just desperate to go, who do they remember? Who are they going to go, oh yeah, I know them, I'll go see that movie. All they've got now are Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, female Black Panther, and at best Spider-Man. So no, I unfortunately don't think this is going to do anything for his Disney career, but I cannot. I was telling this to Marvin last night. I think that this is actually going to work out for him because everything he does is about performatively boosting his progressive profile. So this to him is just another stepping stone to now he's going to be the next brand ambassador for something and everybody's going to love him. It's all performative. It's all dumb. And unfortunately, I think we're just Disney's at the point where they're going to throw the money at anything that they think is going to get people back in seats.
Spencer, for those who do not know what Mr. Liu did with the bubble tea, could you explain to those out there why there's controversy?
Absolutely. So yeah, as Pro said, it's a pretty lengthy couple videos. So we like go check it out on Bounding if you guys want. The video's also out there on Twitter. But essentially, last week, Simu Liu appeared as a guest on the Canadian version of Dragon's Den, which, if you guys don't know that show, it's basically the original Shark Tank. You know, you go, you take your business. There's a bunch of venture capitalists. You say, hey, here's my thing, and they could potentially invest or they don't, so on and so forth. So there was a boba tea company that went up to Dragon's Den on the episode that Simu was on, and they're French Canadian. For those who don't know, boba is a Taiwanese drink. And when they went to Simu to see if he wanted to invest, he basically did this hyper performative, you know, I'm not seeing anything about Taiwan. I can't believe you're taking my culture here. You're not really respecting it. I want to be a part of bringing boba to the masses, but not like this, not like this. You know, it was the most performative, condescending statement of all time. I mean, it gets even better in the aftermath when the business people leave and Simu has this little performative. It hurts me so much to see that a company is being successful and they're not, you know, honoring my culture. And, you know,
wild.
He's just completely full of himself. One of the other guests or one of the other capitalists on the panel even goes, they have been working with a company from Taiwan this entire time. If this is the first time they've heard about this issue of cultural appropriation, don't you think it's on, like, you can't blame them for that. You should be working with them. And he went, well, I need to know that there's a willingness to change. And she said, you didn't give him that chance. They said they would, and you didn't say anything. And then he just sort of like shuts up and looks ahead and is like, okay, yeah, whatever, lady. So
I wish he had not, excuse me, I wish he had not culturally appropriated those sockless loafers.
I wish he wouldn't have culturally appropriated anything or the English language. So he wouldn't have appeared in Shang-Chi and I never would have to hear him speak again. Because, yeah, that's another hilarious bit to this, is that this entire debacle started because he's going, you're culturally appropriate. So Simu Liu is Chinese, boba is from Taiwan, and Simu Liu's going, you're culturally appropriating my culture. How dare you? This is so offensive. Well,
and he's also from Canada, right?
Well, he's also from Canada, but he was born in China. But the thing is, for those who don't know, Taiwan, yes, is like a rebel offshoot state of China, but they don't like each other. They're like completely different entities at this point. They deviated in culture and existence a long time ago. So
I was just trying to figure out, Spencer, about the Canadian thing, because I don't know if I'm allowed to drink bubble tea in his presence, and I'm also not sure if I'm allowed to have Kraft macaroni and cheese. Well, all of this is very confusing to me.
I get the confusion, but if we're doing Simu Liu specifically, considering he got his start playing a Korean character on Kim's Convenience, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say you can culturally appropriate whatever you want around him. Like that's what I mean. This is all performative. He doesn't mean anything. But essentially, after he had that big performative moment, the company that he, you know, degraded, insulted, humiliated, they started receiving death threats and harassment from the people like the neo-leftist activists who agree with him on his side. So in the aftermath of all that, Simu Liu goes to TikTok, which I point that out specifically because he goes here because that's the only platform he knows is going to be the most sympathetic to him, right? Don't go to your Instagram, don't go to your Twitter, don't go to, you know, an actual media appearance because you're a celebrity and you can do that. Go to the Super Zoomer social media platform. And he basically goes on and he gives this long-winded talk about, you know, oh, everybody, you know, they rightfully deserve that criticism, but we can't go into physical like harassment or death threats. And it's like in his long-winded apology, yes, I will give him credit. He does say you guys need to not do this, but he spends 80% of it going, but let me talk about myself, how I feel about this. I'm so worried about how this is affecting the legacy of this moment for the positive energy I brought. I did this. Oh, you guys didn't see after the camera. I got a bunch of praise from everybody. It was really great. You just don't know. I'm sorry. This is how I live my life. We should be more graceful. Like without watching the video, like Marvin knows this. Without watching the video, I cannot properly give the gravity of just how D-baggy. This guy,
I've seen the
in this
video,
video.
and I'll just have to say that it's the kind of childishness that you can only get from an infantilized grown up. That's perfect, Jonas. Even a teenager wouldn't be so proud of themselves in all of it.
Well, gentlemen,
very much speaks to a state of arrested development, and the fact that he was in an MCU film that I'm going to say not many people actually watched. I have to remind myself that it's in the MCU at times.
It's the only one I have not watched, and I just can't bring myself to do it because of him.
It's bland. It's okay. It's generally not offensive, but you can't go into that movie and not notice how much Black culture is represented in the Asian culture there. So if we're going to talk about cultural appropriation or the fact that it's Aquafina doing whatever that was,
which is appropriating a water bottling company, I've heard also.
You got that, didn't you?
Is it cultural appropriation if someone of European descent likes a tasty cilantro spiced quesadilla? Is that okay?
Well, it's funny you say that, bro, because before I came on, I was thinking exactly something like, this guy's such an idiot. Does that mean like I should be objecting to when like Jonas, like let's say I come visit you, bro, which I'm going to do probably by the end of the year. But let's just say you and I go out.
You're going to pitch that lasagna company. That lasagna company. We're going to start that venture capital, folks. You heard it here. Mexican Iron Man and myself. Neither of us are Italian. Sorry, Simu Liu. Neither of us Italian yet. We're going to start a lasagna company.
Or like
I'm offended.
We're at your house and you make Mexican food. Am I supposed to call you out because this guy is so unhinged, stupid. It's just ridiculous. It's comedic. It is absolutely comedic. I cannot wait for his career to just go away.
Well, I think it's already going away, Mike.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's already like practically nowhere.
He's making it happen faster. I want to toss this out to the panel though, and we'll put up a new poll. By the way, 59% of you out there saying you like the new voice better. Again, we're going to tune it in to perfection. Don't worry. But,
as the accounting auditor on the panel, I just want to note that a 60% score is not a passing grade in academics. Thank you.
We'll take that into account.
Maybe 30 years ago, but standards have dropped, Mike.
All right, so to the panel, I want to know, based on this controversy now, and also acknowledging that Disney has these ESG, race, gender parity issues with their stuff, will Shang-Chi be in the Avengers, or is this bad enough that they're like, you know what, we don't need this anymore?
I had heard a rumor that he was not going to be included in the Avengers already. That was already decided. I'm sure this doesn't help.
Will we get another Shang-Chi movie then? Or is it over?
Are there any other characters in Shang? I mean, they already used Shang-Chi to replace the Mandarin. They first of all brought in a actual Mandarin only to replace him with a female Mandarin by the end of the film. For those of you who didn't watch Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm sorry, I was just remembering that. So I mean, maybe they're gonna. What is Aquafina's character's name? Like Marvel's Katie or something like that.
That's it, exactly.
Like a master archer or something.
Yeah, her name is Aquafina.
Yeah.
So if they do another one, he might be in it. But who knows if he's going to be the star of it? That could be the quickest MCU out there. I mean, honestly, second movie already replaced by a girl. Hawkeye didn't even get that. He got replaced by a girl already in just his first outing. So, but it was at least several episodes in. So you think that he's about as close to a woman as you can get without being a woman at this point with this kind of talk on.
Who are you talking about? You talking about Shang-Chi or Hawkeye?
I'm talking about Simu Liu.
Okay, I'm just clarifying, folks. He's not mocking Jeremy Renner.
No,
we don't do that
Jeremy
here.
Renner's
This is not
great.
the Rachel. Right. This is not the Rachel Zegler hour.
If they get around to doing a Hawkeye season 2, which they should not because Disney is wasting money by doing these Disney Plus shows, Jeremy Renner should be in it, and maybe Kate Bishop's character should be in it. Simu Liu, I would not be surprised if he gets replaced by a girl and applauds it the entire time. That's the kind of energy that I get from Simu Liu.
Oh, 100%. If he was replaced by a woman and taken out of Marvel, he would give a standing ovation to Marvel for doing that to him.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for now, but don't worry. Do not fret. Not yet, for more content is still coming your way 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We hope you feel the same. Adding value to your every single day is our job here, and we take it very seriously. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is that you consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. And folks, if you'd like to subscribe to our partner YouTube channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and some of those radio stations like Vacation Radio, well, we certainly would appreciate it. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time and being invited into your day, folks, we go on our way saying this: keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.